Hello there, and welcome to this afternoon taste challenge. This is going to count for Friday. I could do it Friday, but they got the Knights of Columbus fish and shrimp fried dinners, and I don't want to do a taste challenge and then go over there and help them sell dinners and then be like, oh, hey, and they're like, what's wrong with you? So I'm just going to do it, and then we'll be back on at 7:20 Eastern tonight for any cheap red wine. Examine any cheap red wine, meaning $10 a bottle or less. My friend Paul hung up the phone saying, all right, MD 2020, goodbye. And I was like, that would work. We could use that. Okay, but anyway, we have George Dickel Cascade Hollow Tennessee Sour Mash Whiskey, 80 proof, aged 3 years. Notice it doesn't say straight Tennessee whiskey, just Tennessee whiskey. So that means, and this is a liter bottle, by the way. When I tell you the price, you're going to think I'm lying, but I'm not. Distilled and charcoal mellowed at George A. Dickel and Company, Tullahoma, Tennessee, 80 proof. And then there's a whole essay on the either side about the George Dickel Company, and we're not going to read all that. But been around for 151 years. Not this particular brand, but the company. And from about 1870 to 1964, they made a whiskey called Cascade whiskey, Cascade Tennessee whiskey. It was cheap, like an inexpensive brand, but it was well known. I mean, people bought it because it was inexpensive. And it was like 86 proof, I think, age might have been like 3 years, similar to this. And then they decided to kind of reposition themselves. I think they had a new owner. I don't think it was Guinness, Diageo Guinness, but it was somebody else. It's owned by Guinness now, Diageo of London, England. Somebody told me Diageo bought Guinness. I said, no, Diageo is Guinness, all right? They just changed the name to Diageo as an umbrella name, so it wouldn't be Guinness. But anyway, George Dickel, same people that own Diageo also owns Johnny Walker, Scotch whiskey, Crown Royal, Bat 69, and so much more. But they wanted to like rebrand in 1964 as like a more premier brand. So they introduced George Dickel number 8 Tennessee whiskey and George Dickel number 12. Not 12 years and 8-year age, but they just call them their recipe. So then the Cascade whiskey kind of went away. Now, I don't know if they totally discontinued it. It might still be made, and maybe you could only get it in Tennessee. And a few years ago, they brought out Cascade Hollow. Now, I bought this liter bottle, true story, for $8.99. And I had to buy my friend David a bottle. I was like, ta-da, and he was like in shock, you know. He was like floored. What? $8.99 for a liter of, you know, George Dickel. He was like going crazy. I say, yeah, that's the price. East Coast Liquor Reviews. Oh, hey. Hey, Tanner, have you tried the corn whiskey George Dickel? No, I haven't. The clear bottle, the clear liquor. I think it's like a beige label or something. But I'm well aware of it. But anyway, $8.99 a liter, crazy, right? Now, here's the ancient age, 10-star, introduced 1936, even though the company claims it's 1946, and even though I sent Buffalo Trace clear evidence that it was 10 years earlier and they made a mistake, they never changed it. I don't care. I know it was 1936. It's pretty bad when you know more than the company. Happened with Anheuser-Busch. Their website was saying that Bud Ice came out in 1984. I told them, I said, no, it was 94. How can you, and the lady wrote me back. She said, well, how can you show that? And I gave her the documents, and then she said, oh, yeah, we're going to look at that. And then about a week later, it was changed, 94. So if Anheuser-Busch can change their website because of me, Ancient Age can change their website because of me, Buffalo Trace. But I mean, I don't care. It's not aged 10 years. It's only aged 3 years. They call it 10-star. There might be a 6-year aged also. All right, because the website claims it's 6 years. This is a clearly 3-year age. It says on the bottleneck, age at least 36 months, probably 36 months and a day. It's straight Kentucky sour mash bourbon whiskey. All right. Now the Dickel does not say straight Tennessee whiskey, which is a type of bourbon. No matter what people say, I know I'm right. They're not right. But it doesn't say straight whiskey. It just say Tennessee whiskey. And it's aged 3 years. So what would make it not straight whiskey? I would have to say that they're probably aging it in used barrels. A barrel that had aged whiskey previously. One of their other brands, something like that. Is it going to make it taste bad because they put it in a used barrel? No, it's just what they did, and but it can't be called straight Tennessee whiskey. That would be the problem there. So no big deal, but it is the reason. Color. Well, the ancient age is a little bit darker, but not by any kind of great extent. They're both amber, chestnut color, I guess you call it. Now, if you look at the George Dickel website right now, I'll put a link below. They don't list Cascade Hollow. Not listed. But if you get investigative, like I do, investigative tip. Hey, Ron, have you been to Bellingham, Washington? No, I haven't. I've been to Spokane. If you look carefully at their website under frequently asked questions, FAQ, it says something like, what's the status of Cascade Hollow whiskey? And the answer is, sorry, my nose is itching. The answer is, it's not currently being bottled at this time. Now, I thought that was like bad English. It is not currently being bottled at this time. Well, currently would be the same as at this time. So it's redundant. But then maybe adding that section of at this time would imply that that doesn't mean it's not going to be bottled in the future. See what I'm saying? They don't say they're not making it. Think. They say they're not bottling it at this time, which to me is implying that in a future, at a future point, they will start bottling it again. I don't know. I mean, I don't really care. I'm not going to repurchase it. I bought it. I tried it. I got to move on to about 1 million other brands, you know. But look how much I got left. It isn't going to be any time soon when I'm going to go. I'm going to be so old. God willing, if I live long enough, I'll be old, so old finishing this bottle. David, I said, what happened to y'all's bottle? He said, oh, we blew through that in like a weekend. Well, they were at the hot rod shop, River Ridge Hot Rods, and they fixing cars, doing all kind of repair work and drinking that stuff all day. So, you know, it wasn't going to last a weekend. But anyway, you're not going to find it for $8.99 a liter. Okay, you might find it in a store, even though it's out of production at the time, at this current time. You might see it around. I did. And they had a lot of bottles that didn't last for $8.99 a liter. That was going fast. But you're not going to see it for $8.99. You might find it for $15.99, $16.99, a more reasonable price for a liter, but it'd probably be more like $18, $17.99. So let's say that in a 750, it's going to be the same price as the Ancient Age. I think that's pretty accurate. So I think if we're talking 750 milliliter standard bottles, as they used to be called fifth in the old days, a fifth of a gallon in the 70s, way before I ever cared about whiskey, you're probably looking at about $15 a bottle. They're both aged 3 years. They're both chill filtered, not, you know. The George Dickel's mellowed through charcoal. Is the Ancient Age dripped through charcoal? They don't talk about it, so I doubt it. They're both sour mash. and you can read about that process. But the big difference here is that two big differences. One is straight whiskey, one is not. May not mean much. And the second one is that the Ancient Age is 90 proof, whereas the George Dickel is only 80 proof. And I think that's going to make a big difference. We're talking about 10 proof difference, 5% alcohol difference, 40% alcohol versus 45%. So that might be the factor that determines. Now, is one going to be better than the other? I didn't remember that one was better than the other, but we're going to find out right now. So here we go. Availability for both of these, for either of these, non-existent. You're probably never going to see Ancient Age 10-star, and you're probably never going to see George Dickel Cascade Hollow, the red label. You're just probably never going to see them. But man, look, they got a lot of obscure liquor stores out there with a lot of backstock just lingering on the shelf, so you just might see them both. But you probably won't. Have you done number 8 compared to Jack? No, I haven't. I don't even have number 8. I got the 12. And this one here, the red label Cascade Hollow, and I got the rye, the green label, the rye, which is a 90 proof, awesome product made in Indiana for Diageo. It's not made by Diageo, but it's made in Indiana for Diageo, but it's really great. Aroma. This is pretty pungent. It's a full nose. It's pungent, fermented cornbread, sourdough bagel, rich, saturated oak. Myth or reality? You have to spend a whole lot of money to get a good bourbon. What's the answer? What's the answer? What's the answer? Myth or reality? You must spend a lot of money to get a really good bourbon. Myth or reality? It's a myth. You don't have to spend much to get a good bourbon. That's my opinion, of course. This is less nosy. In other words, it's less full in the nose. It's nice. Get that sourdough. Get a little charred oak. Get cornbread and corn, you know. But it's more subdued, and that's making me think it's the Cascade Hollow, the Dickel, but I don't know. I haven't tasted them. So on the aroma only, I'm not very confident at all. But that's why we do a taste challenge. It's called a taste challenge. It's blind. It's a blind taste test. I see so many taste challenges on the internet. Y'all know I'm mostly a viewer, and I make comments. I do produce content, as you know. But I'm more of a viewer who happens to produce content. And I noticed that so many people, almost everybody does open-eyed taste tests where they're looking at the products. Oh, here's the Guinness, and then let me pour the Murphy's. And then they'll talk about, well, I like the Murphy's more than the Guinness, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking you need to do a blind taste test to be honest, because you don't want to know which is which. I have tags below these glasses. Later, when I decide to reveal it, I'll look at the tag, and then I'll know if I'm right. I mixed them up. I was blabbing my mouth, mixing them up. That way I forget which is which. So I'm not going to cheat. Anyway, if you cheat on a taste challenge, you're like a maniac. You're insane. You should get off the internet immediately. Please get off the internet. Okay. It's like candy corn. Corn meal. Yeah. Corn grits. I don't know why people like to drink bourbon, to tell you the truth. I don't know what's the appeal to all this corn, but you say, well, you eat corn on the cob. You eat grits. And et cetera, et cetera. Well, that's true. So I guess I shouldn't say that. Franzia Rosé. I haven't tried any Franzia wines. The Early Times Kentucky whiskey is a good example of cheap, good whiskey for an incredibly low price. No joke. I've seen some bottles around here for $8.99. And the only reason it's not called bourbon is because they age it in used barrels. If they age it in a brand new barrel, it'd be bourbon. Everything else is the same as bourbon. Early times, it's identical. It's just they chose to use the leftover barrels from, well, obviously Jack Daniels. And does it taste worse than Jack Daniels? I don't think I would say that. Would I like to try the Early Times bottled and bond? Yes, 100 proof, which is not even listed on their website, but I know where to buy it. But I'll probably never get around to it. Yo, Ron says, raining on your parade. Hello, yo, back to you. Now let's taste over here. Wow. It's a really intense charred oak. The vanilla, the dried fruitcake fruit, the corn grits, the charcoal, the oak. It's really strong. I drink my sugar with coffee and cream. No, so I think I'm almost certain that this is the ancient age 10-star. And I think it's because it's got deep, rich, robust oakiness, which you wouldn't probably only get from a 90 proof, straight bourbon, as opposed to the regular Tennessee whiskey, not straight and only 80 proof. But I'm not sure, but does it taste better? If you're not into rich oaky wood barrels, you might not like it. I like all that. I rather that than all that corn. This one's much, I don't want to say blander. That's not the correct term. It's much mellower, okay? Because bland doesn't really fit this scenario here. It's just lighter, milder, more mellow. It really works, though. I mean, the Cascade Hollow's nice. I wouldn't say anything bad about it. I've been talking good about it since I bought it. So, no, you won't hear me saying bad things about George Dickel Cascade Hollow. Oh, no. Oh, no. So I'm ready to call it. Does it taste as good? No, I think the ancient age 10-star is a little bit better. Okay, it's a little bit better. It's not way better. And would I pay a lot more for it? No. I mean, but I wouldn't have to because they're about the same price. So you figure it about $15 a bottle, 3-year aged, and etc. Sour mash. One's from Kentucky, one's from Tennessee. Kentucky is above Tennessee, on a regular map, where they show north going that way. But they're fine. They're great. Havana's great, so all right. Oh yeah, it's so mellow. Okay. Ha 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 ha. I got it right. But I shouldn't brag because it was kind of a mismatch in the sense that one is 90 proof straight bourbon, the other one is 80 proof and it's not straight whiskey. It's just aged and used barrels, obviously. So, I mean, it was a challenge, so to speak, but not really a challenge. So should you buy George Dickel Cascade Hollow Tennessee whiskey? I would say, yeah, buy it. It's so mellow. Oh man, you could get in trouble with it because you want to keep sipping on it. Like, oh, I want to keep sipping on it. It's so mild and mellow. George Dickel named his very first whiskey Cascade whiskey. That's true. That's a true story. Okay. Oh man, you could just go cray cray with it. Remember they used to say that around 2005. Everybody was going cray cray. But anyway, oh, it's a winner. It is a winner, 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 winner. But it's not a winner today. This is the winner today. Ancient age 10 star full metal jacket. Oh yeah, and I bought it in Meridian, Mississippi at Bonita Plaza Liquors, and they probably still have bottles on the shelf on Mississippi Highway 19, just south of Interstate 59/Interstate 20, where they are a congruent route through Meridian, only through Meridian. If you might be driving in the area right now listening to this, should you pull off and buy it? Oh yeah. If you're not willing to pay $15, you are so cheap. But anyway, your superior intelligence wins today, right? I would like to say that, but it's actually just the flavors are pretty different. Ooh, baby. All right, that's it. I'm out. I'll be back, though, soon enough for examine any cheap red wine, $10 or less per bottle. Thanks for watching this video production.